I'm alive. I don't know. Fresh. Who was that woman? Where's chat? Where's my chat? Who was that woman that you clipped? So I'm obviously live on YouTube. Oi, oi, Landy. I'm still getting used to this restream. Strange, but true. What's Fresh laughing at? She was off her bonds. She was gone with the wind. I got a documentary to play. It came out years ago. Well, it came out in 1982. It was for Stevie Boy, really, because his comments in Dave's last night. So I thought I'd dig it out and play it for him. But I tried restreaming to Rumble, and for some reason it's not letting me restream to Rumble. I don't know why. Where is everyone? Is this what happens when you don't go live for ages? Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, Michael. Freshly, freshy. So everybody had a good day. All right, November man. It's only an hour, mate. It's only an hour. It's a documentary. I don't know whether YouTube will let me play it. I'm not sure. They might not let me play it. I'm sure I've played some of it before, but got away with it. Not YouTube censorships like. But I'll try. See if it does. I don't know what was wrong with Rumble though. Did Rumble look like Russians? There's a Russian director. Oh yeah, I've got to go and do that Nightbot, haven't I? Keep forgetting to go into Nightbot. Hello, Sam. I'm going to be playing a boring documentary. Well, if the powers that be that will allow it to be played. Jelly cats. What's jelly cats? It's a thing, Raver. Why isn't Restream as fast as YouTube? It's got a delay, it has. Jellycat, soft toys. Oh. When you said for the kids, I thought you meant sweets. No dustbin lids. 300 quid on stuff. Ah, that's right. You sold a load of cars, haven't you? You minted. You keep buying all those mercs and selling the mercs. Well, they're collectibles, are they? Have to have a look at them. You got 6 now. You got a showroom. Where be that Stevie boy? Stevie boy, where are you? Am I still shadow? Well, you're all here, so I can't still be. Am I shadow banned? I don't know. You obviously all got a notification. I can't believe he did that, Michael. I can't believe he did that. That's mad as poo. Notification by pigeon. What's that? What's that? Let's turn that down. Why have we got 3 text messages? Well, no, has he just run out of content, you know, because he's playing old stuff. Tried to confuse everybody. Thinking Vega would come back as a starseed. Is Kiers here? Why can't I see Kiers? Blunt. It is, it is. You're saying hello to Fresh Clips, yeah. Get it now. I don't know who Fresh is. I presume he's one of the boys. I don't know. I don't know whether it's Kiers, because Kiers would come in under himself. Hello, Rob. Long time no see. How you been doing? Yeah, well, Wandom. I reckon he's had food poisoning. I reckon he's been cooking again. Better rent Sam up. Is she not wrenched up? She is wrenched up. Where's she to? Oh. No worries, it was November's fault. In this chat, it doesn't tell me who's mods and who ain't mods. I wonder if it does if I show it on screen. No, doesn't do it there neither. Well, Blunt's here, but Stevie Boy's AWOL. Where's Stevie Boy? What's up? What's up? What's up? See, I turned it down as well. How loud is that coming through? What's that now? Samsung, by continuing, you agreeing to your personal data being processed in accordance with the privacy notice. What's that all about? Samsung keyboard. I don't know. All right, let's see how long they allow the video, shall we? Let me know if it's got sound. I haven't got sound yet.
The American Assembly in support of Zionism and Israel. These are traditional propaganda spectacles organized by the World Zionist Organization. No expense is spared. An assembly in the largest concert hall in New York is rented. The Presidium is filled with leaders of Zionist organizations. All the standards of American political advertising are observed. The audience is not only entertained, but also persuaded. Persuaded of the unsurpassed merits.
You got no sound? Mandy said, oh, no sound. Okay. Why ain't the other stupid thing caught up? Jim Davidson in the middle.
Of a genuine national idea. It is promoted by the chairman of the executive committee of the World Zionist Organization himself, Leon Summers. Zionism was and remains a revolution without qualification, because Zionism put an end to the state of Jewish homelessness and made the Jewish people masters of their own fate on their own land. Because Jews are pioneers who developed a wild country. Because Zionism strives to create a new society.
Whose land? Whose land? Confused there.
Based on the ancient ethical teaching of the prophets, on equality and social justice, and on the later prophets of Western liberalism and democracy. Liberal democratic Europe on the eve of the 20th century, at the beginning of the era of monopolistic imperialism, saw the bourgeoisie searching for new means to fight the revolutionary movement of the working class. It was precisely at this time, that Zionism appeared on the political stage, an ideology, a policy, and a practice of the large Jewish bourgeoisie. The year 1897. Representatives of the Jewish bourgeoisie from different countries of the world gathered for the first Congress of the World Zionist Organization. The founding father of Zionism was Theodor Herzl. We must isolate Jewish students and workers from socialism in order to give them instead a genuine national idea. Herzl set out his program in the pamphlet The Jewish State, and even earlier, in a letter to Rothschild, about how my second cousin began doing this. Around 1880, he gave significant sums, that is true, to help Jews in general emigrate from Western Europe and settle on the land in Palestine. But that ended. All of that...
So that was in 1880. That was in 1880. He was funding them to go to Palestine in 1880. Good Max.
It ended with the death of my second cousin in 1934. Are two different things. All Jews criticize other Jews for not having given enough to Israel, not having given enough to the Jewish cause, to the Jewish religion, to Jewish social institutions. And this is fair, because there has never been a Jew good enough, and his conscience has never been sufficiently clear. Fortunately, such criticism helps one become more virtuous and makes it possible to receive, even if anew. I was born and lived in Jerusalem, where Arabs lived, Muslims and Christians and Jews. By the end of the film, I was raised in a school where Arabs, Muslim Arabs, Christian Arabs, and Jews studied together with me. We all lived in peace with each other. Arabs were stronger than anyone, and so was my family. And the opposite as well, testifies Rachel. Although the mayor of East Jerusalem was expelled by Zionist occupiers after the aggression of 1967, he died in Hollywood. In the Middle Ages, Jews were oppressed and persecuted in Europe. The only refuge ready to accept them were Islamic states, including Palestine and others. They lived under Arab-Muslim rule for 13 centuries in peace. Differences and conflicts arose only with the appearance of international Zionism. British imperialists were the first to decide to use Zionism to strengthen their positions in this strategically important region of the world. Dear Lord, His Majesty's government views with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, and will render full assistance in achieving this goal. I would be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the attention of the Zionist organization in London. Film Chronicle, year 1919. A Zionist commission arrived in Palestine, headed by the leader of the World Zionist Organization, Chaim Weizmann. The commission discussed with the British occupation authorities the issue of accelerating Jewish colonization, since Jews then made up only 7% of the population of Palestine. The principles of Zionist colonization were Jewish land. Land must belong only to Jews. Jewish labor. Jewish production. The goal of colonization, set already by Herzl, was to turn all of Palestine into a Jewish state.
That's wrong, that is. That's completely wrong, because before Herzl died, he thought that they were going to go to Uganda. Because they hadn't decided on the land. Even though the, what's it called, was written in 1917, before, but Herzl died and he thought everybody was going to go to Uganda.
Within Zionist ideology, that there have always been two primary tendencies. One was Theodor Herzl, who was an ignorant Jew, someone who knew nothing of the history of the Jewish people, and whose sole focus was on his own self-advancement. And then there was the well-known Jewish writer Ahad Ha'am. He stated that the state itself was of no consequence to the Jewish people. What was crucial was the presence of a spiritual and moral core, because following the emancipation of the Jews, the ghettos vanished and a real danger emerged that the Jewish people would assimilate.
Yeah, that's true, Blunt.
Ghettos are gone? We must create a new spiritual ghetto. Ahad Ha'am declared Jews a global spiritual nation, a supernation. He demanded that every Jew, wherever they lived, consider themselves a keeper of a special, higher morality and view their spiritual center as Palestine.
Yeah, so I've played it on here before. I played it on here. It was under Eisenhower. It was in open-air concentration camps, left to starve. Classed as prisoners of war, yeah. Yeah, 2 million. Don't doubt it. 2 pence. It was supposed to say 2 million.
Germany to Hitler, Italy to Mussolini, Palestine to us, demanded Ze'ev Jabotinsky's Zionist stormtroopers. It was no coincidence he was called the Jewish Hitler. He asserted that to achieve the Zionists' goals, the Jewish people had to be issued in a corrected edition.
It was the year 1940.
The fascists are now preparing for the final solution to the Jewish question. Jews across occupied Europe have been rounded up and driven into ghettos. Today, Zionists frequently speak about the millions of Jewish victims of Hitler's genocide. However, they prefer not to remember that they themselves actively collaborated with Gestapo members. Moreover, an auxiliary Jewish police force was also formed from among the Zionists themselves.
Like I've shown on here before, the Zionists sacrificed many Jews. When the 10,000 children came to the UK, Weizmann said, "I'd rather see them die than come to the UK." That was when the UK did the white paper, because they were gonna stop the transfer agreement. And Zionism stopped them going to Palestine. Stop Hitler. But the Zionists owned the police force and totally collaborated with Hitler. So I don't know why all this bizarre history is taught in school. I mean, I was taught it when I was a school child. But I wasn't taught it off the teacher. When I asked the teacher about it, the teacher said I can only teach what's in the curriculum. Most of all our books are wrong. So my O-level modern world history, I got ungraded because I only wrote my name on it.
"20 years after the war, the West German magazine Der Spiegel wrote, "Since both Zionists and National Socialists had elevated the concepts of race and nation to the status of a cult, it was inevitable that a common ground or bridge would emerge between them. And this bridge arose on monstrous piles of millions of Jews tortured and shot by fascists. And these are scenes from post-war newsreels. Jews who survived the Nazi genocide sailed to Palestine from war-torn Europe. Zionists assured these people that after the immense hardships they had endured, only in the Promised Land could they truly find peace. The Jews were convinced that in Palestine, a peaceful and happy life awaited them, one that would allow them to finally forget the horrors of war. It was May of 1948. British troops were in the process of leaving Palestine. In accordance with a resolution passed by the United Nations organization, the British mandate...
Of course, it was only ever Jews that died, wasn't it? It wasn't anybody else that died. You know, nobody else died. It was only Jews that died. It's like, just what? What? Why is it only them that suffered? Why is it only them that died? I don't get it. And like SR pointed out, what about the POWs? 2 million of them. What about prior to World War One? I've had them knocking on my door, Dave. Talking about my live stream, saying my live streams are a bit anti-Semitic. And so we'll go and check out the history. They're not anti-Semitic at all. But we're all indoctrinated, aren't we?
Over the territory of Palestine was officially coming to an end. It was decided that two separate states would be established there, a Jewish state and an Arab state. However, an Arab state was never actually established. It was not peace, but terror that the Zionists brought with them to Palestine. Their armed detachments carried out hundreds of attacks on Palestinian towns and villages. The leader of one of these terrorist gangs, Menachem Begin,
"In this land there is no place for both of these peoples. The only solution is a Palestine without Arabs. Not a single village, not a single tribe should remain here."
At dawn on April 10th, 1948, terrorists forcibly removed the entire population of the Arab village of Deir Yassin. They even killed the young ones. Fleeing death, hundreds of thousands of Arabs were forced to abandon their homes. Thus, the Zionists put into practice the slogan, "A land without a people, for a people without a land." The Palestinian Arab people became its victim. The first Prime Minister of Israel, one of the pioneers of Zionism, Ben-Gurion.
The borders of Israel will be determined only in the course of war.
Thus, Israeli expansionism was born. The destiny of other peoples fundamentally does not interest the leaders of Zionism. Israel is above all else.
So my understanding of Israeli policy, which you can find discussed in numerous...
When he talked about the terrorists doing it, that would have been the Haganah, the Irgun, and the Lehi. The Lehi were the Stern gang, which all turned into the Likud party in the end, which is one that Bibi Netanyahu and all that lot work for now, or run now.
articles is first and
They were the ones that blew up the hotel with the British in it to force Britain to get out of Palestine. It's quite mad as well, because back in the day, I've showed pictures of it here, the main in Tel Aviv, the main road, on the corner of that main road is like a Y junction, There's a great big civic building, and all that had the German flags dangling from it. There was a German and a Palestinian coin, or a German and Zionist coin that was struck and used. So the Zionists fully collaborated.
Foremost, that Israel should not be a state just like all the others. It is a great misfortune that the path of Israel began with war. I personally asked Ben-Gurion to postpone the declaration of the state for a month to avoid war. Ben-Gurion did not do that. I told him that Ben-Gurion should be well aware that in the Talmud, that great Jewish religious commentary, it is explicitly stated that it is characteristic of every sinner that after committing one transgression, he inevitably takes on another. The very same principle applies to war. One war follows another, and soon it will be nothing but continuous warfare.
And Ben-Gurion, as he liked to call himself, we know that Bibi is what's Bibi's last name again? And Ben-Gurion was David Grun. Another Polish. Every single leader of Israel has always been Polish. And they all changed their name. Ah, cool. What kind of artwork are you painting? These wall clips haven't got no sound to them, I think.
Three decades of wars fought to seize Arab lands, followed by a separate deal brokered at Camp David. US President Carter, Israeli Prime Minister Begin, and Egyptian President Sadat sign a document hypocritically titled Frameworks for Peace in the Middle East. His true goal is to impose imperialist domination on the peoples of the Middle East, to perpetuate the Israeli occupation of Palestinian lands on the west bank of the Jordan River and in the Gaza Strip, as well as the Syrian Golan Heights.
What other occupied territories could you possibly mean? If you are referring to Judea, Samaria, and the Gaza Strip, then these are in fact liberated territories. They are an inherent and integral part of the land of Israel.
From whom exactly are the Zionists attempting to liberate Palestine? From the Palestinian people themselves, in those very territories which Menachem Begin once controversially labeled as liberated. The Zionists have since imposed a truly brutal and oppressive occupation regime. Consequently, not a single Palestinian individual can now feel safe or secure within their ancestral homeland. Thousands of Arabs have been driven out of their homes. Thousands of homes have been completely destroyed. Arab holy sites are being desecrated. Muslim mosques and Christian churches are burning. Zionists are trying to uproot Palestinian culture from the land they have proclaimed liberated.
I spent Christmas night in Bethlehem, occupied by the Israeli army. There were no Palestinians, none at all. On the streets of Bethlehem that night, there were soldiers, 15,000 troops for the Bethlehem area. The army was there, and tourists. But the Arab city was completely silent, motionless, and utterly without a sound. They were celebrating Christmas in their own homes. They did not wish to celebrate in the church, where the occupying and civil authorities were present. If any family member, even a teenager, throws a stone at a car or insults an Israeli soldier, their entire family is held responsible for it.
That law's now coming to England, isn't it? If the child misbehaves, the parents get punished. Old Stalin Starmer, he brought that in before he left, didn't he? It's going through the House of Lords now, I think. Whatever your child does, you now get punished.
This is called family punishment, and it means the destruction of their home. I have seen a house just like that. It took my father 17 whole years to build that 2-story home. This is a very large and numerous family. And a house like that, they're destroying. Several hundred soldiers are arriving, and people must evacuate their homes before it's blown up with dynamite, before absolutely everything is completely destroyed. They are treated utterly inhumanely. They were arrested, their home destroyed before they were even questioned. They didn't even have a chance to say they were innocent because they were brutally abused. They were beaten, and only after all this were they found guilty. And all this happened on New Year's Eve in Bethlehem. Bethlehem is a city where Jesus Christ was born.
Yeah, I kind of agree with it. There's so many unruly children. But you can't be watching them 24/7, can you? They're exactly silent. It's going to be fines and imprisonment.
Zionism adopted many things from the arsenal of Nazi methods. The Nazis claimed that they belonged to a superior race, and Zionists assert that they are a part of a divinely chosen people, standing above all other nations. Everyone who is not a member of the Jewish people they refer to as a goy. Are you aware of what goy signifies? It refers to an individual who is not considered to be a human being. The term goy itself, by definition, means non-human. It is such an astonishing and a striking resemblance. That is precisely why I refer to Zionism as neo-Nazism in our contemporary world.
The land whose destiny it was to become the national dream and cherished aspiration for the entire Jewish people is known to us as Palestine. And the Jewish people must always believe in this divine predestination. They strove to build a mighty empire, gathering all their strength for wars and for freedom, and with God's help they were victorious in this war. Our flag rose among the flags of other nations, from the depths of hell to the very top.
It did indeed,
This is a manifestation of divine providence. The miracle of miracles in all of human history, a truly divine wonder recorded in the annals of mankind. For this reason I implore you, believe, my dearest friends, my beloved brothers and sisters. Otherwise, not all of us will be saved, not all of us will be present here with us.
A special commemorative issue of Life magazine dedicated to the anniversary of the State of Israel. Its authors titled this photo collection, Different Faces of a Young Nation. The Jewish race is considered one of humanity's primary races, and it has successfully preserved its distinct integrity. The Jewish type has managed to maintain its purity throughout countless centuries. These profound words were uttered by one of the founding fathers of Zionism, Moses Hess. The result of Zionist ideology's dominance in Israel. Rabid chauvinism, racist psychosis, the spirit of chosenness and exclusivity. This is their true national idea. A West German newsreel shows the opening ceremony of the new building for the Israeli parliament, the Knesset. Leaders of Zionist organizations and high-ranking guests from many different countries arrived for the celebrations. The honor of the official opening was entrusted to Madame Rothschild. Her husband had generously covered a significant portion of the construction expenses.
Yep.
The policy of establishing Jewish settlements in the Arab territories is simply intolerable. The Minister of Agriculture, who is now the Minister of Defense, and who was entirely consumed by his own idea, Minister Ariel Sharon, stated that an irreversible situation must be created in Palestine so that the situation would be irreversible. Arabs are being expelled from their lands, with Jewish settlements being established there.
Another ceremony, the solemn groundbreaking of a new Jewish settlement on Israeli-occupied territory. Already, more than a third of all Palestinian lands on the west bank of the Jordan River have been confiscated by Israeli authorities. According to the Zionists' plan, the remaining Palestinian territories are also to be Judaized. The city of Hebron in the occupied West Bank. Extremists from Gush Eminem terrorized the civilian population of historically Arab cities. To the members of this union of true believers, even men are resolute. Their hero, Meir Kahane, the founder of the fascist Jewish Defense League, demands the immediate annexation of the occupied territories and the expulsion of all Palestinian Arabs, every last one of them. In an effort to break the will of the Palestinian people to resist, Israeli terrorists are carrying out assassination attempts against their leaders. By the explosion of a bomb planted in his vehicle, Nablus Mayor Bassam Shaka was severely injured. The mayor of Kakana is in the center of press attention.
It is a holiday.
It was a celebration for me, nothing less than a celebration. These were people from the United Nations. Do you really think that those individuals who placed the bomb in the car were Jewish? I would like to hope so. I would like to hope. I hope they will continue the traditions of Menachem Begin, Irgun, and Lehi. So maybe Mr. Begin will remember who he once was.
Menachem Begin, the king of Israel. This is how his most fanatical admirers refer to the prime minister. His political adversaries, however, call him something quite different. A dangerous demagogue, afflicted with megalomania. Throughout Menachem Begin's entire political career, his unwavering objective has been, and continues to be, the establishment of an Israeli empire. Begin found admirers and supporters, not only within Israel, but also far beyond its borders. The Nobel Committee, based in Norway, ultimately awarded him the prestigious Peace Prize. And yet, it's worth remembering that at one time, the English police had actually offered a substantial reward for any information that could lead to the arrest of this very man. Menachem Begin is wanted. He is 38 years old. His height is 175 centimeters. He has a very thin physique. Distinguishing features: flat feet, bad teeth. Occupation: a clerk. No, not a clerk. Terrorist. Many people, including even Jews themselves, paid with their lives for Menachem Begin's political ambitions. It was his stormtroopers who blew up the King David Hotel, the very place where the British headquarters was located. A souvenir photo. The veterans of Zionist terror, after so many years, have gathered together inside a prison cell beneath the noose that no longer threatens them. Now they are national heroes of Israel. But where is Menachem Begin? He is in London, under the heavy guard of British police. He was born in 1913. His height is 175 centimeters. He's of a frail build. Special characteristics: flat feet and artificial teeth. His occupation is that of Prime Minister. The high-ranking visitor is being accompanied by official representatives. Menachem Begin has expressed a desire to inspect the imperial archives so that he might read the Balfour Declaration in its original form. Dear Lord Rothschild.
The British Jewish community is a very close-knit community. It includes about 500,000 people. Jews in this country are extremely proud, peace-loving citizens. We are convinced that we are its best citizens because we safeguard our religion, our culture, and passionate loyalty to the Jewish state.
You are a member of the English Parliament, and you speak of your loyalty to the State of Israel?
I am the elected...
They reject Israel now. You won't find an Israeli flag flying around London, around their areas.
leader of the British Jewish community. I believe it's entirely in Britain's interest to have a strong, viable state of Israel. I see no contradiction. I see absolutely no divided loyalties. Everyone in this world has more than one loyalty.
The Jewish Yearbook provides a long list of positions held by the Right Honourable Greville Jenner. The interests of a member of the English Parliament reveal a very specific pattern. He is the chairman of the Board of Deputies of British Jews. He heads the organization Labour Friends of Israel. He leads the Committee for Solidarity with Israel, is the author of 28 books, and a former director of the Zionist newspaper Jewish Chronicle. He shows a special interest in our country. Mr. Jenner is a member of the Committee for the Protection of Human Rights in the USSR and vice chairman of the Parliamentary Committee for the Liberation of Soviet Jews. This is his credo.
The freedom of a Jew in any part of the world to go to Israel, if he wishes to, that is the essence of Zionism.
Do you consider yourself a Zionist?
It really depends on your personal understanding of who a Zionist is. I consider myself a Zionist because I believe in the existence of a Jewish state, the right of Jews, wherever they live, in the United Kingdom or the Soviet Union, to make their way to that small piece of land when they want. In this context, I am a Zionist. However, if you ask whether Zionism means that you should personally relocate there and live, in this sense, I am not a Zionist because I live and serve in this country all the time.
So, Mr. Jenner believes that others should be the ones going to Israel.
And the other, and what they decide, it will be a matter for them.
New York, United States, is the most important center of international Zionism. This building on Park Avenue houses the headquarters of American Zionist organizations.
American Zionists. At one point, one of the Rothschilds defined their role as follows. A Zionist is an American Jew who gives money to an English Jew in order to send a Russian Jew to Palestine. Other American Zionists themselves do not seek the promised land. On the contrary, about 500,000 Israeli citizens have already moved to the United States. Zionists themselves call New York the largest Jewish city in the world. Almost as many Jews live there as in Israel. Gold and diamonds are bought and sold. This street is called the Golden Ghetto. Here the promised land exists not only for the turnover of dealers tied to dying factories, but also for the captains of big business. Bank Leumi is one of the largest banks in the world, originally called the Jewish Colonial Trust. It was founded by Theodor Herzl. A true national idea turned out to be highly profitable. For some, it is New York's Golden Street. For others, Antwerp's Diamond Quarter. This is...
Did you see the bull? Baal? The Baal? Oh, they've been doing that for a long time, SR. If we go back a bit.
A Zionist is an American Jew who gives money to an English Jew in order to send a Russian Jew to Palestine. Other American Zionists themselves do not seek the promised land. On the contrary, about 500,000 Israeli citizens have already moved to the United States. Zionists themselves call New York the largest Jewish city in the world. Almost as many Jews live there as in Israel. Gold and diamonds are bought and sold. This street is called the Golden Ghetto. Here the promised land exists not only for the turnover of dealers tied to dying factories, but also for the captains of big business. Bank Leumi is one of the largest banks in the world, originally called the Jewish Colonial Trust. It was founded by Theodor Herzl. A true national idea turned out to be highly profitable. For some,
is that Baal, the bull, the Baal, and the whore of Babylon? Is that the whore of Babylon riding the bull? Or Baal, Baal?
it is New York's Golden Street. For others, Antwerp's Diamond Quarter. This is the Vershina of the Diamond Triangle. These stones were mined in South African mines, cut in Tel Aviv, and brought to Antwerp.
This business doesn't like the eyes of curious outsiders. The Diamond Exchange. Its membership is exclusively for the most distinguished and chosen few. Vast fortunes are accumulated, and generous donations flow into Zionist funds. At the very pinnacle of the Diamond Triangle stands the Diamond King himself, Harry Oppenheimer, who presides over the Presidential Council. This is it, the Promised Land.
money.
Money, money, money. That's what makes the world go round, as this farcical song proclaims. Mark, yen, dollar, pound, as long as the coins keep jingling. Money, money, money.
Isn't it funny? You see hundreds, maybe thousands every day walking around New York, but you never see their wives. How many of them are still wearing the niqab? Because they all used to wear it.
The Golden Street seems like a distant mirage. In this district on the outskirts of New York live people who traded their Soviet passports for the illusions of the promised land.
Oh, bad marsh.
After leaving their homeland, they chose a U.S. residence permit over Israel. For them, the promised land turned into a ghetto on the fringes of life.
Michael.
Rivers of milk and shores of jelly, a land of boundless opportunities. What do they dream of now, these fervent champions of a true national idea? Is it the mark, the dollar, or the pound? But here in the Soviet Union, Jews are living poorly, claims the sensationalist newspaper New Russian Word. They are declaring that Soviet Jews require immediate and urgent salvation. Yet another Zionist provocation at the building of the Soviet permanent mission to the United Nations. What then has brought the participants of this gathering here? Is it their concern for the well-being of Soviet Jews? No, for Zionist leaders, the fabricated problem of Soviet Jews is merely a tool in a larger anti-Soviet game. We will not allow the improvement of Soviet-American relations, boasts the speaker. We will not allow the easing of international tensions. What do Soviet Jews have to do with this?
It's absolutely crazy because you've got the Russian Oblast. And the Russian Oblast was well before Israel or Palestine. And it's bigger than Tel Aviv. And there's still Jews living there today. There's a couple of YouTubers who went there the other week.
Zionists cannot accept that national discrimination and hostility have been forever eradicated in Soviet society. In our country, there's no place for any form of racism, including Zionism and anti-Semitism.
Then let the Russians up there who are listening, watching, let them understand and know.
For every Jew, 2 Russians. Freedom for Sharansky. Who is Sharansky? A traitor to the motherland, a spy, condemned by a Soviet court. This is the man the Zionists are making their hero.
The time has come for the
Meir Kahan, the leader of the Jewish Defense League. Whoever said that we cannot use violence to save Russian Jews, whoever claimed that violence itself is inherently wrong,
Another terrorist
we must not
organisation,
hesitate
the
or
JDL.
ponder, but rather take action.
strong, and when you feel it right, with the correct breathing, you squeeze off your round. Keep your arm up.
You must release the Jewish people at once, or you will be killed. Let's go home now. Let's go home.
Bombings, shellings, attacks on Soviet diplomats and members of their families, attempts by any means to complicate Soviet-American relations. The Zionist stormtroopers are trying. The turnout organizers are an anti-Soviet event. An American television news report. Israel's Prime Minister, Menachem Begin, has arrived in Washington to establish cordial relations with the Reagan administration. Let's clarify, the true objective of Begin's discussions will be far more than just cordial relations. The discussion will center on the formation of a strategic alliance aimed against the USSR and the Arab National Liberation Movement. Begin views such an alliance as the foundation for Israel's expansionist policy. Begin arrived in Washington from New York, where he had consulted with leaders of American Zionists. He anticipates that, as always, he will achieve success with the help of the pro-Israel lobby. The word lobby is an English term, and it originally means a corridor or a backstage area. However, in American political jargon, it refers to groups that exert pressure on the government, acting in the interests of specific circles. Among these, the pro-Israel lobby is widely considered to be one of the most influential.
We are just a small group. Of course, we have to convince everyone that we are right, but in most cases, it's not that difficult to convince Americans of our position. Lobbying is the word that means to approach our government with requests and demands, to ensure it pursues the correct policies. We hold personal discussions with government.
Yeah, you totally own the UK government, don't you? I don't think there's one single party, is there? Maybe the Green Party, I'm not sure. I want one of them t-shirts. What did it say on the t-shirt, Silent? I missed it. Auditors. Most of the auditors, Sam, women beaters and fucking child abusers, aren't they?
Government officials. We bring groups from our community to Washington to meet with their congressmen and senators, sending letters, correspondence, and telegrams. All of this is so that members of Congress understand what we believe in. They can either choose to ignore our views or decide to follow our advice.
The White House generally attempts not to disregard the recommendations of Zionist lobbyists. This brochure compiles statements from American presidents expressing their support for Zionism and the State of Israel. Israel represents a significant strategic advantage for the United States. It is the only stable democratic nation that we can truly rely on in the Middle East, as Ronald Reagan affirmed.
Well,
Every candidate who is campaigning for the position of president or congressman needs money. To obtain these crucial funds, he must approach influential Zionists. This is not just about the necessities of politics or an electoral campaign, but also about day-to-day business operations. It is well known that many of our investment banks are in the hands of individuals for whom the interests of Israel are paramount, who prioritize Israel's interests above all else. Then, the mass media. There are many Jews there who are either openly pro-Zionist or, by taking a neutral stance, they fall under Zionist leadership. The American people are misinformed. In the last week, we were mentioning the victims of war. It wasn't only Jews who suffered during the Nazi period. However, we hear solely of the millions of Jews and nothing of the other victims of the Nazi genocide. This naturally leads to enormous sympathy for Israel and a hostile attitude towards anyone who opposes Israel's policies. Anyone who openly advocates for justice for Palestinians, or for a change in American policy, or for an agreement with the Soviet Union on the Middle East question, will immediately be crudely accused of being a pro-communist or an anti-Semite. There exist organizations which operate as a component of the Zionist lobby, whose fundamental aim is to compel silence, to quash any opinion which they perceive as being directed against Zionist interests. This has placed Jewish people in a very difficult position, where they are often pointed at and asked directly, "Are you Israelis or are you Americans?" Of course, we play a certain role, and we are not ashamed of this role, nor do we apologize for it. We make our contribution to the formation of the foreign policy of the United States.
The storylines of American television
This is the most famous product of Israeli arms exports, the Uzi submachine gun. You once saw this very weapon in the hands of an American Secret Service agent, moments after the assassination attempt on President Reagan. The Uzi is a symbol of the military industry created in Israel. 750,000 Uzis have been sold to 40 countries worldwide.
Let's clarify this point. The buyers of Israeli weapons became the most reactionary regimes in the entire world: South Africa, Chile, El Salvador, and South Korea. This weapon is being used to suppress the national liberation struggle of the people in these countries.
During our discussion about the strategic situation in the Middle East, naturally we found a great deal in common. Friends and partners in these peaceful times, we share a resolute determination to confront all those forces that seek to threaten the freedom, the sovereignty, and the very peace of our nations. The United States of America will remain firmly committed to its solemn pledge to ensuring the security and prosperity of Israel. We have worked closely with you and with other friends throughout the region to effectively counter Soviet aggression and to enhance the overall security of all the nations in this region.
I do not say goodbye, Mr. President. Jerusalem.
Begins sees in Reagan a completely natural ally with whom he can conclude a strategic agreement against the Soviet Union, and there is no doubt that strategic cooperation between Israel and the United States must definitely be built on an anti-Soviet basis. It reflects an anti-Soviet policy.
That was my question last night, wasn't it? To Vanguard. When did we become anti-Russia? Russia was one of our major allies. It was the big three: UK, America, and Russia. So when did they become an enemy? They did the pact, didn't they?
In my opinion, such a policy on the part of Israel can only be characterized as sheer madness. It is complete and utter insanity. I don't understand why Israel would provoke a military conflict with the Soviet Union. This is absolute idiocy. It has no justification whatsoever. I believe, however, that begin hopes by signing this agreement to receive significant assistance from the United States, perhaps a little more money, greater economic support, and much broader military cooperation. And I think that Begin is unforgivably sacrificing the very future of Israel. He is placing Israel's very existence in grave peril by pursuing a policy that is absolutely unjustified and completely unnecessary.
Yeah, only because they were getting rid of ISIS, and America and Britain funded and trained ISIS. And then you got the Daesh as well, you know. It's like the silly bombing. Trump said, I bombed ISIS. No, you bombed like fucking 50 miles up the 50 to 100 miles away from ISIS. You bombed a village nowhere near ISIS. If you'd gone into the mountains and bombed, you would have got them.
Tens of billions of dollars, such a huge amount was received by Israel from the United States. With this money, the Israeli military machine was created, which clearly does not match the country's economic and human potential. The most militarized country in the world, that's what they call Israel. Not the army for the state, but the state for the army. The cult of militarism, the cult of aggression permeates Israeli society. Force, the iron fist, is the way to solve all problems, Zionists believe. Only in this way can great Israel be created. Beirut, autumn of 1981. There was a little more than half a year left until the next Israeli invasion of Lebanon. They came early in the morning when everyone was at home. When they had just started clearing the ruins, a second wave of Israeli bombers appeared. That's when the most people died.
Be right, wouldn't it? Slaughter them while they're asleep.
Incredibly, people live amidst this horror, the Lebanese, whose only misfortune is that their country is in the area of strategic interest for the creators of Greater Israel. This woman's daughter was seriously injured. Her wedding was supposed to take place the next day.
Oh yeah, Jesse Owens. He even stated it, didn't he? Jesse Owens.
"5 years ago, refugees first appeared on this road in southern Lebanon. They were Palestinians, expelled from their homeland by the Zionists. They hoped to find temporary refuge in a neighboring country. They thought they would soon return to Palestine.
You ask me why I stayed here. All my family and loved ones died here. The only thing left for me is to wait for my death here. Hundreds of families lived here. Now it's only me. Where do I go now? After all, we have lived here for over 30 years. If you move to Saida, they kill there. To Nabatea, they kill there too. They kill here. They bomb everywhere. They shoot everywhere. Isn't it better to be near your family and die here? We wish we could return to Palestine, not Israel. Oh God, what should we do?
Rashidia Camp. In June of the year 1982, it was barbarically destroyed by Israeli tanks. 20,000 Palestinians lived here. This camp was located just 5 kilometers from their homeland. It was a symbol of the perseverance and courage of the Palestinian people. Israeli planes bombed it over 500 times. Artillery shelled it almost daily, and ships and paratroopers attacked it from the sea.
And Jesse Owens, I mean, this is how racist the Germans were at the time. You had Adi Dassler. Adi Dassler drove from his village. He was a shoemaker. And he drove to the Olympic village and he convinced Jesse Owens to wear his custom-made leather running spikes. And Adi Dassler, he was the person who founded Adidas. Yeah, he won 4 gold medals. So that blew the water out of the Aryan myth, didn't it? In America, he was completely blanked, but he wasn't blanked by Hitler.
Maybe it was these guys who fought their last battle here in June 1982.
No, that might have been his brother. It's because the Dassler brothers, one brother produced Adidas and the other brother produced Puma.
Here there were no military bases. Here there were many children. There were no Palestinian combat units here. There were children here. There were women here. There were old people here. Old people who remembered Palestine, so close and yet so distant. Israeli tanks were able to enter the outskirts only when not a single defender of the camp remained alive there. British newsreel Viz News, June 6, 1982. Thus began a new bloody aggression by the Zionists, the result of the Camp David policy and the American-Israeli strategic alliance. Palestinian and Lebanese patriots are offering heroic resistance. The aggressor is suffering significant losses. However, the forces are far too unequal. Hordes of Israeli barbarians, armed with the most modern American weapons, have descended upon peaceful Lebanese cities and villages and upon the Palestinian camps. Their goal is the final solution of the Palestinian question and the transformation of Lebanon into an Israeli puppet. Hundreds of thousands of people have once again become refugees. They tried to find shelter in West. From all sides, the Lebanese capital is surrounded by Israeli troops.
Just above Tyre, the river Tyre, they built the thin blue line, but now Israel has gone over that thin blue line and they took over Mount Hermon, is it? I can't remember. The one that's got all the water. There. Prepping. But the thing is, Sam, I can show this until I'm blue in the face and still people question. And still people, you know, there's still people that don't take it on board. And it's like genuine history. You know, I mean, yeah, where Satan descended. But there's so much more. There's so much more. It's like November Man was saying, oh, what did he call it? He called it the hidden teachings. Did you call it, November Man? The Cabal and Baal worship. Babylonian Talmud. You know, and all this alphabet stuff, all funded by the Jews. And I've shown it over and over and over again. You know, Tel Aviv, the gay capital of the world. Yeah, secret teaching, Kabbalism.
The Zionists are methodically and mercilessly destroying residential neighborhoods, using the most barbaric weapons, phosphorus shells, cluster bombs, poisonous substances. Thousands of civilians are dying. In this way, the Zionists are trying to deprive an entire people of the right to live. This is genocide, a crime against peace and humanity.
No peace, no solution.
There can be no peace, no settlement, no stability.
The Palestinian rights.
Yes. If one tries to bypass Palestinian rights, including the right to establish their own independent state.
He vanished with a puff. The wrong one. That was good, that was.
For almost 3 months, West Beirut was defended by the National Patriotic Forces of Lebanon and Palestinian units. The entire world admired their courage and resilience. They did not lay down their arms before the aggressors. The Palestinians are leaving, not defeated. They are evacuating the Lebanese capital to protect its peaceful residents from the ongoing bloodshed. Philip Habib, an American diplomat acting on behalf of President Reagan, guaranteed the security of Beirut's population. The true price of the American peacekeepers' guarantee was soon made clear to the entire world. In the Palestinian refugee camps of Sabra and Shatila, Zionists carried out a massacre unprecedented in its brutality. Never before has the brutal, man-hating, anti-human essence of Zionism been so clearly and openly laid bare. Let's remember, after all, this has already happened.
And out of all the British Prime Ministers since the State of Israel, Margaret Thatcher, so when this was going on, Margaret Thatcher, she was the only one that said no to Israel. She did a UK strict embargo and an oil embargo against them. Shalom, few men. But it's Margaret Thatcher, she's the only one that's ever said no to Israel. But she still took the kiddies' milk.
This is the absolute final decision. Superhumans, the superior race. Concentration camps. The Greater Israel. The Zionist crimes committed in Lebanon have provoked outrage among all honest people across our planet. The peoples of the world angrily condemn the bloody atrocities of the Israeli aggressors. These tragic events once again demonstrated the need for a comprehensive, just, and lasting peace in the Middle East. The Soviet Union's proposed Middle East settlement program is gaining growing support from the international community. In Israel itself, democratic forces, led by the Communist Party, are opposing the aggression in Lebanon.
We demand an end to the war, an end to the bloodshed, because we don't believe in this war. We don't believe the Palestinian problem can be solved by military means.
The Israeli communists are the most consistent fighters against the growing threat of fascism within the country. Sober-minded Israelis recognize that the policies of the Zionist leadership are profoundly hostile to the interests of the Israeli people and call into question the very existence of the State of Israel. Where is Israel actually going? A former general and currently one of the active participants in the anti-war movement, Madi Pele.
I believe that the main problem Israel is currently facing is the very future of Israel itself, which entirely depends on whether it will be possible to achieve peace. If we do not have peace, I seriously doubt that we will have a future.
The next regular session of the Israeli parliament, the Knesset,
is it possible to speak in this Knesset without ever being interrupted? And I don't want to listen to you at all.
Opposition leader Shimon Peres is the head of the Labor Party, which had been in power for the first 30 years of Israel's existence.
Menachem Begin is the leader of the Likud political bloc. He once led the opposition, but now Menachem Begin is at the helm of the government.
There are no fundamental differences between them, of course. They share a common platform, all of them.
Il est impossible de distinguer dans les sentiments et dans l'émotion des Juifs.
It is truly impossible to fully comprehend the intricate feelings and deep emotions of the Jewish people, or their profound attachments. The entire form and very essence of the Jewish nation lies in the fact that each person offers support to another, sharing their friendship and material possessions.
Et son intérêt.
Therefore, among the Jewish people, there are no distinctions whatsoever.
Éventuellement des natures différentes, mais il n'y a pas de degrés différents.
Mr. Barron asserts that there are no distinctions among Jewish people and consequently no social classes and certainly no class struggle. These Israeli Jews who are protesting against social and ethnic discrimination would hardly agree with him. Jews in Israel are divided in so many ways: the poor and the wealthy, the pure and the impure, Ashkenazi, Sabra and Sephardi, and even first and second class citizens.
Alors que maintenant, quand je vais en Israël, ce qui me frappe... what I see now in Israel and what strikes me is a huge gap, a huge social divide between the wealthiest, the richest people and the poorest. In 1981, significantly more people left Israel than entered. So why exactly are Israelis choosing to leave the state of Israel? For a variety of different reasons. Primarily, I believe it's due to pressing economic circumstances. Do you realize that the inflation rate in Israel is currently 100, even 200%? That's an absolutely staggering and unsustainable figure. People simply cannot continue to live under such conditions. Furthermore, Israelis are utterly exhausted from living in a constant state of war for the past 3 decades. They don't feel safe. They know that their children could be sent to war tomorrow or the day after, and they might be killed. And so many families simply decide to live in peace in some country where they don't risk dying. I think the Israelis are mistaken in believing that the annexation will resolve everything. This situation is very dangerous when the policy of a state, especially such a small one, is based on illusions.
These illusions, you see, are born directly from the myths of Zionist propaganda. At one point, Zionist theoreticians boldly claimed that a people chosen by God, a supposedly superior race, would be able to create a model state, an example for the entire world to follow. However, today Israel is being torn apart by acute and profound social, political, and deeply rooted ethnic conflicts and divisions. Fanatically religious Jews live in this area of Jerusalem. They believe that Judaism and Zionism are diametrically opposed. They do not accept the current Israel. They oppose Zionism, oppose Zionist practices. Those who inflict violence upon other nations will sooner or later begin to inflict it upon their own. National idea. In the year 1975, the General Assembly of the United Nations officially condemned Zionism, identifying it as a form of racism. The judgment of history is inescapable. Humanity remembers the words that were pronounced at the Nuremberg trial. These individuals are the living symbols of racial hatred, of terror and violence, of the arrogance and cruelty that are born of unchecked power. It is a symbol of brutal nationalism and militarism, of intrigues and provocation.
He's davening, making love to the Shekinah. Well, it's true, November Man. They believe that God was part man, part female, and the female part is Shekinah. And when they pray, they copulate with Shekinah, and they ejaculate when they're at the western wall or the retaining wall. I ain't going to call it the Wailing Wall because there never is the Wailing Wall. They copulate with Shekinah, and they ejaculate. It's a well-known fact. Well, that's that. What did you think of that then? Well, where's that silly music that I put on? Don't need that silly music no more. Hey up, Angela. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, exactly, so I mean, back in the day, we used to use, remember Jif used to come in those yellow lemon bottles, and you could put them between your palm and your fingers, and you could squirt it. And then instead of using those little Jif lemons, they started using, and they were refillable as well. You could flip off the top, the little white top, the squirty bit, and you could fill them back up again. You could at the end. Yeah, it's been going on for an hour. Yeah, Jif lemon. I don't know whether you can still buy it in the little plastic lemons. What's that, November Man? What's that a link to? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What the fuck? Shadow of Ezra. Yeah, he's good, he is. There's Rubio. There's Satan Yahoo. There's XF. Where's his grey hair gone? Has he dyed his hair, has he? Terry Neenan. Rubio's going, oh, fucking hell, fucking hell. We ain't got no bombs left. We haven't got no bombs left. We can't beat Iran. We're trying, but we can't beat them. Yes, sir. No, sir. 3 bags full, sir. Oh. Mine that stopped in my ear. What's going on there? XF and Rubio are getting a drilling, aren't they? What's SR shared? Ugh. Oh, what have we done? Volume. Yeah, I've played this before, so hang on. Where's the stupid? Do, 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 do. Why can I not get it to full screen? Oh, where's the full screen button to? Dun-dun-dun-dun. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Oh my God, Angela, you didn't need to do that. Oh, what's going on there? What's that? Sent star. What's a star? Dave. Sent silver star 2 Jules. What's that? I don't even know what it is. How you doing, Dave? I'll just record this a minute. What's going on here? I don't need to. I don't need to record it, do I? I just play it on my OBS. What's all the? What's the? Careful, it might be a gangster. What's these chili peppers and stars and coins? What are they? What are they all about? Where are they to? I can't see them on my chat thing. So this is after World War II. So these are all the Germans. Can you see it on the screen? What's that? That's a face with a... Is that a chili? $100 jewels. What are jewels? Why is the chili not in the chat? Is it not in the chat? I can see it in my chat, but I put it on the screen. Let me move that over across. Can you see that on the screen?
So folks, I want to talk about this. So after the Second World War, there were 2 million German young boys, old men, POWs, and the Allies took them and stuck them out in the fields, and you know, with barbed wire and fences. And the first thing they said was, we're not going to call them POWs, we're going to call them disarmed enemy forces. And the reason why they did that was because POWs have protection under the Geneva Convention. They are allowed food and shelter, medical access, you know, protected from exposure. They should have, the Red Cross should be able to check on them, and they've got legal protections. So they stopped calling them POWs and called them disarmed enemy forces. And they just stuck them out in the fields with no toilets, no sanitary conditions, no water, no food, no blankets, and 2 million white Christian men died in Western Europe at the hands of America, Britain and France. This isn't a number that's just been plucked out of the air, some imaginary number to, you know, to talk about some genocide. This is a real genocide that no one today talks about. There are no museums or memorials or remembrance days for the 2 million soldiers, you know, innocent, unarmed, who were killed by our governments.
True story, that.
So folks, I want to talk about this. So
did that come through, did it? Oh, these chili peppers. What's that? 100. What are they? Did the link show up in the chat? I dropped the link down. Don't know if anybody wants to come up. How are you people sending jewels? What are jewels? I've got a thing somewhere, haven't I? Oh, what's that? Yeah, where are we to here? Wee. What's that? Oh my God, we got sparkles now. What's that? They are your gifts. Gifts. Express yourself with gifts. Oh. It doesn't show me on mine. I suppose that's because I'm logged in. Not seen that before. And it's raining now. Wonder why it doesn't show up in, it says cent gold coin. SR cent gold coin. It doesn't show up in YouTube like it does. Well, yeah, I suppose it does. You've got gold coins at the end. I'm all out of gifts. I didn't even know what they are. It's mad. Teresa got the jackpot. Evening, Teresa. Is it a shackle, says Mucker. What is that on the picture now? Why isn't it updating? Laughing disco. There's a laughing disco ball. Oh my giddy aunt. So I'm guessing these are all the jewels that we earn when we're chatting. In different chats where you got the crown. I don't know. No, I've got YouTube page open as well, but in my gift section, it doesn't show me that, so I can't obviously gift myself on the other screen. Where I give out membership gifts, because you get 10 members you can give out each month, but you've got super stickers, super chat. It doesn't show me the same thing in my YouTube. Yeah, it's a shame there's no sound on it, isn't it? Mucker's knee deep in the shrubbery. He's chopping down his olive trees. What's that? Yeah, mine doesn't do that. Hang on, I'll show you. Open screen, share screen. Move that over there. So down here, where you're telling me to go, I've got super stickers, super chat, and membership gifting. So I've done all my 10 free memberships. But obviously it doesn't show me. Stickers, chat, memberships. Hi, trucker. And buy the trifle. That's mad as poo, isn't it? Mad as poo. Blunt. Sent party. It's a having a party. You got a party at. That's a clown's at, that is. What's that? Sent F to F. Sent press F. What was that noise? GGEZ. I'm mad. Did the link drop down in the chat, did it? Did it share the link this time? Does anybody want to come up? Let me know if the link is there. Are you lot trying to spell something? You've got FWGGEZ. Sam is inquisitive. Yeah, fuck around and find out. Yeah, exactly, Teresa. Can somebody let me know if the link dropped into the chat? Because when me and Max were on the other day, we was having trouble. Oh, link is there. All right. Fair play. Yeah, because we had problems trying to share it last time, didn't we? I had to type link, then do the copy and paste, and then link afterwards to get it to show. I press F for fun or other thing. F for fun. Or is it F for fast? Or faster? Oh, Dave's going for faster now. Clock it. What's that? Is it a hand? It's only got 4 fingers. Ding, ding. Hello.
Fucking hell, you don't make it easy to join you, do you? Thanks, Smiler.
Why? It's just
so I went to a Jewish cemetery yesterday, right, on Gelderd Road, right? And I've not been the same since. And today, special delivery, signed for. You're not going to believe this. It were a cabinet in a box, cardboard box, well packaged, right, really well packaged. And it come with a key, strapped it outside. And I opened it. I swear to God, Smiler, I think I'm being watched. And I've had this weird fucking thing follow me through these woods. Have you ever heard of a dibbock?
No.
I think the fuckers have sent me a dibbock box through post and I've opened it. The fucking sneaky bastards. Well, anyway, I come for my nighttime walk, don't I, along the woods. Anyways, I'm just about to leave, but fucking hell, those bushes started rustling like I've never heard bushes rustle before. But not in a good way either, Smiler. Anyways, to cut a long story short, I've been fucking possessed by them. What do you think?
Isn't it just an urban legend, though?
That's what I used to think. I used to think it was just some Hollywood thing. But listen, dark fucking Yudin. I'm telling you, it's voodoo. It's serious.
Who have you been upsetting?
The faceless. The voiceless. I just know that they're all tattooed with the Star of David on the chest.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm being serious, Smiler. I'm being deadly, deadly serious. Anyway.
Well, they were searching me up in 2015. I checked on Google history and they were searching me in 2015.
Oh, well, if you push the right buttons in the right areas, Smiler, you know how they operate. It's like a fuck. Just stand your ground, sir. Stand your ground. Show no fear. Just repeat it. It's a mentality.
Yeah, you know when you go on Google and you and you type in who's been searching you.
No, how do you do that one?
It's on Google. You just type in, and it takes you to a page, and it shows how many times you've been searched, how many people searched you, And in 2015, it all come up as Israel. And then again in 2020.
Where am I going with this? Anywhere. They can't really complain what leaves my mouth now, because as some sort of coping mechanism for my trauma, I've kind of developed split personality. This is what the psychiatrist told me 2 weeks back. And it went something like this. Adam, these voices that keep manifesting, they're a coping mechanism. And one of them's called the evil rabbi. And they've done it to me, apparently. Don't be crying. And it goes, give yourself to Israel, my boy. And the other one's my great-granddad, Frederick Franz.
Right.
The Kaiser's World War I veteran. He ran away before he got called up for World War II, and he spent a bit of time on Guernsey. And then he changed the family name, moved up north. True story. So's the rest of it. Anyway, so I told the psychiatrist, you're talking absolute fucking shite. It's not. It really is my great-granddad, Frederick Franz, and he's channeling himself through me. I'm his useful conduit, and he's going to take out all his punishment down his ancestral line on those that have attacked his great-grandson. Anyway, that's where I am online in 2026. I've got a dibbock on my fucking ass, and I've got severe split personality disorder. One's called the evil rabbi, and the other one's my great-granddad Frederick Franz. Coping mechanism, says the psychiatrist. I'm not buying it. I'm saying they're very real. What are your thoughts now?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, if you hear any sort of tics, Tourette's like outburst of, hello, mein Juden, again, you can't complain, because apparently it's the trauma from your sneaky behaviours that have been sort of PTSD. Right, anyways, I'm going to get off. Keep doing the God's work. I'll see you later anyway. Thanks for letting me on.
All right. And there's no such thing as Star David.
I know your thoughts and takes on it, but anyway, listen. I wanted to ask you a serious question, but I don't know if it's a little too personal, but you did put it out there. How are you in the old Nakaroo department? Have you had the all clear?
Yeah.
Have you?
I've got no cancer markers whatsoever. I haven't done any of that. What's it called? I did my own protocol, and even my myeloma markers have disappeared.
Good lad. Good lad. Good lad. I'm glad to hear it. Right, Smiler. Stay well and healthy. I'll see you later.
All right. You take it easy. Hey?
Right, I've got to get moving. It's catching up.
I can see the wind blowing.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It's a dibbock. Jewish ones.
Has he crashed, or has he exited? Why is he stuck on screen? Oh, I did loads of stuff. That's all. Yeah, I'll remove him just in case. I went mad at it at the beginning. That's good news. Yeah, you've always got to eat the cores. I've been eating cores since I was a kid. My mum used to say an apple tree will grow out your head, and the branches will come out your ears. But I genuinely, So genuinely, why isn't that chat keeping up? Oh, you watched Nuremberg the other night? Yeah, I've watched it. They don't show the torture, do they? Hey, up, Stitch. I didn't think you was blocked in here, Stitch. Even when I went through the block list. Yeah, they lie about all seeds, and they lie about all pips. It's like all these people that do these weightlifters that do jibby jabbies. They don't even need to do the jibby jabbies. All they got to do is eat loads of different seeds, like flax seeds. There's loads of seeds. The seeds do loads of stuff. I eat pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. If I could get the whole sunflower, I'd eat the whole sunflower. And save all your skins. Wash them first to get rid of the wax. No, somebody thought you was blocked the other day, Stead, so I went through the block list on the screen and you weren't in it. No, we don't do star seeds. No such thing as a star seed. So, the Star of David was not used by King David in biblical times. Did not originate as a core religious symbol of ancient Judaism. Opinions on the symbol's earliest historical timeline differ slightly among researchers on platforms like Reddit, but historical and archaeological records show it developed centuries later as a decorative, mystical, and communal marker rather than ancient royal symbol. No biblical mention. The Hebrew Bible does not mention the six-pointed star or link any geometric hexagram to King David. Early decorative uses. The hexagram shape appeared sporadically in antiquity across various cultures as a decorative design or a magical sign, including occasionally early Jewish artifacts. Well, we know it was Solomon's seal. Yeah, hemp seeds are brilliant, SR. The menorah, for all of Jewish history, the menorah was primarily visual symbol representing the faith, not the hexagram. Medieval mysticism, the term Magen David, means the shield of David. It first appeared around 1300 in Kabbalistic text, associating the shape with divine protection. As of above, the same below, the two triangles. So I don't know where all this Star of David bollocks all comes from. And then you've got 2 blue lines from the river to the sea. Just done a workout as well. Bloody hell, Sam. Yeah, cocoa. If you want to lose weight, use kunjac seeds, or kunjac root rather. Another one is quinoa. I did a workout and feel that bit. Why ain't you up here, you bugger? Apparently, Dave, he played it again today. Has he run out of stuff to play or something? What he did last night with Lindsay, he played again today, apparently. Did a replay. Yeah, that's a very good one, that is, Blunt. Maximum benefits, eh, Dave? Yeah, less protein and more fiber, isn't it? Yeah, konjac root. Life is like a sewer. What you get out of it does not never depend on what you put in. That's very true. Don't think I need that up there no more. You are what you eat. Oh, go steady, Sam. That isn't that main road that you were showing us the other day, is it? I was going to clear. Wow, that's a good story, that is. Like a little energy bunny. All that weight you put on, Sam, you'd be moaning in a minute, you burn it all off. The straw man. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. So the yellow brick road represents gold bricks, yeah? The straw man represents that fictional, all capitals, legal fiction person The straw man wanted a brain, but got a certificate, the birth certificate for a new legal creation, and he was proud of his new legal status, plus all these other legalisms he was granted. So the poor straw man got a birth certificate. The tin man, the taxpayer, identification number, a robotic avatar who worked tirelessly until his body literally froze up and stopped functioning. The heartless and emotionless robot creature who worked himself to death because he had no heart or soul. He wanted a heart. The cowardly lion was a bully, but was a true coward. When someone stood up to him, he lacked true courage. That's what he wanted, courage. At the end, the wizard gave him an official recognition award, authority and status. The Wizard of Oz uses magic, smoke, flames, holograms, but all of it were tricks and illusions to push fear and compliance into doing what he commanded. The truth is, the wizard has no real power and only uses illusion to create false power and authority. The Wicked Witch, she pushed for fear through intimidation. She controlled the flying monkey police, the policy enforcers, the mischievous demons, which also represent the bar association, attorneys, solicitors who attack and control all the little people for the great crown wizard, the crooked bankers of the Oz gold. In the field of poppies, they were not real humans, so drugs had no effect on them. But Dorothy was drugged. The Wizard of Oz was written at the time when Rockefeller, when Rockefeller and pharmaceutical begin to take over the medicine and education, the drugging of America. The Crown was the largest drug dealers. The Crown was the largest drug dealers. Why haven't they got any full stops or commas? That's worse than my tax, that is. The Crown was the largest drug dealers, and after their takeover of drug distribution in China, they began to expand all around the world. Toto the dog that the Wicked Witch was after, Toto in Latin means in total, altogether. Toto was the one who exposed the Wizard of Oz. Toto had no fear and was very small compared to the Great Wizard, so no one noticed him. Toto pulled the curtain on the wizard and his magical scams. Curtain also means the end of an act or scene, the end. He pulled the curtain and started barking until others paid attention, and red pill the others. The curtain veil that hides the corporate legal fiction and its false courts is exposed. The jig is up. No matter how small your bark is, it can be heard. That's the yellow brick road. Toning up. What's happened to Judy Garland? Has she died, is she? Yeah, it is used in MK Ultra Blunt, yeah. Of course you know. Oh, man, that's like a fucking smack in the face there, November man. How long ago did she die? Years ago. Liza Minnelli, yeah. Well, it's anybody in government, isn't it, SR? It's the powers that be, isn't it? Oh, come on. I was doing research earlier. It's not that one. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Have you heard this? Have you heard this one? Scotland. Why they're calling the transgender women? They're men. Media reports regarding biological males inducing lactation in Scotland. Drawing widespread public attention due to government funding and debates over medical safety. The discussion centres around publicly funded Edinburgh-based charity, the medical process of induced lactation, and the polarising response from advocacy groups. The Queer Milk Initiative. In July 2026, media attention focused on LGBT health and well-being. A Scottish charity receiving public money via the Equality and Human Rights Fund, financed by the Scottish Government, the NHS and local councils. The charity launched a support group called Queer Milk in Edinburgh. The group's target, the weekly group, is designed for LGBTQ plus parents who are breastfeeding, chest feeding, or giving human milk to their baby. The term chest feeding is used by the charity and the NHS as a gender-inclusive alternative to breastfeeding, typically referring to transgender men who have retained their female reproductive organs and breast tissue, or transgender women who have induced lactation. Transgender women induce lactation to allow a biological male to produce milk. A medical protocol known as induced lactation must be followed. The individual must first take the hormone progestin alongside standard estrogen gender-affirming therapy to mimic pregnancy and stimulate the growth of milk-producing glands. The drugs to trigger actual milk production. Individuals take specific medications, most commonly domperidone, often sold under the brand name Metilium. Domperidone is an anti-nausea medication prescribed off-label because its side effects increase the secretion of prolactin, the primary hormone responsible for milk production. With severe clinical safety concerns. Heart risk. Domperidone carries a known clinical risk of causing heart arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats, particularly when taken in high doses over prolonged periods. Janssen, the manufacturer, gives a warning in its leaflets that small amounts of the drug pass into human milk and can cause heart-related side effects in a breastfed infant. So why are they giving queer milk to children? Yeah, exactly. NHS politics. The wider UK medical landscape has seen friction over this topic, while some NHS trusts previously stated that induced trans milk was just as good as maternal breast milk. Organisations like the University Hospital Sussex NHS Foundation Trust ultimately backtracked on their guidance in 2024 following heavy public pushback and safety reviews. So Janssen Pharmaceuticals, that's owned by Johnson & Johnson. And the chief Walla Walla, that was McDonald's. I can't remember her silly name. She's now in charge of Janssen, which is Johnson & Johnson. But she was in charge of McDonald's. along with Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street Corporation. Yeah, I know November Man is crazy. But you drag Queen Story Hour. So when you had those convicted speedos going into libraries and museums and wherever else, that was all funded by Israel David Fishman from 1938 to 2006. And then some other Jewish charity took over. Gay Liberation. Isms. Vaccine cause isms. And in 2007, you had the Rainbow Project. It's all mad. Radar Productions one. Well, 2 were convicted, weren't they? Whoa, look at that moon. That moon's mad. If I'd seen that earlier, I could have gone out and photographed it. Bugger. See if I can get a photograph. Yeah, exactly, Blunt. Exactly. Well, where's that stupid photograph just gone? Do you hear him?
What's up?
It's really bright as well. Whirr. Should have taken it with a camera, really, instead of the phone. That's weird looking clouds. Yeah, that's right outside my window, that is. Well, not right outside my window, but outside my window. The moon from my window. See, those clouds, they look more like waves, don't they? These one down here. Yeah, let's take it with a camera a minute. See what I can get with a camera. Yeah, I've got no tripod, have I? Let's set a tripod up. Nah, I can't do it without the tripod. That's a shame, isn't it? Yeah, you can take the photographs with your mobile phone, but trying to do it on a camera. trying to do a 2-second exposure where you can't hold that. Highly accurate advanced timepiece is the moon. It is, isn't it? Looks like rocks. Well, it's changed now because that cloud has dispersed in that little short time. That's got a lot of contrast. That is. Yeah, see what they look like. Screenshotted it. You haven't seen some of my photos, have you, Sam? Oh, there doesn't seem to be any wind out. It's very still. But it's westerly at the moment. Newlet. Westerly 10 kilometers. But not at ground level, so it must be higher up. Because at ground level there went nothing. It's just to upload those other pictures I took with the phone. Where did I put them? I sent them to myself, didn't I? Yeah, I did send them to myself. So where are they gone? Trying to take them out the window isn't very good, is it? It would have been brilliant. Oh, those jewels are fucking showing up again. Stars. Yeah, if I knew it was going to be like that, I would have gone down Charleston Harbour and taken some photographs earlier. Waited for the moon to come up. About 40 quid bird's nest. About 40 quid a month. That's the difference. This is on the free version, and there's no hour limit on it. Whereas if you have the free version on StreamYard, I think you get so many hours a month, don't you? But I was paying for StreamYards, but it's $53 a month or 40 quid a month. And they wanted $106 because I put mine on, I suspended it for 2 months. And they wanted $106 for me to go live. And I thought, you know, I don't go live very often, and there's a waste of time keep paying 40 quid every month for something you ain't using. When I think there's more in Restream. There's more in Restream than there is in StreamYards. The other day I was going through it all with Max, because Max uses Restream all the time. So I've got graphics, captions, QR codes, notes. I can write notes in this or copy and paste notes to it. So when you're doing a live stream, you've got all your notes to hand instead of having another window open. You've got widgets, you've got your chat, you've got your music, you've got themes, and you've got automatic help as well. It is. It's like 40 quid every month going out your bank, Oleg. I don't think it's worth paying. You know, you like this restream. It doesn't seem to have any time limits on it. This is completely free version. And it does the same. It does the same as StreamYard. You can have portrait or landscape or both. So when you set your live up, you can have it on both. So people on phones or tablets, it automatically sets to the size. Where StreamYard doesn't do that, does it? You got either one or the other. Then yeah, those are the 4 seasons, is he? Why ain't anybody done a pop on him? Why ain't anybody doing a Charlie Kirk on him? What's bird's nest shad? Ah, it's Tony Soprano, isn't it? Yeah, Mandami said he was going to arrest him, didn't he? But that ain't happening. Didn't realise it was full moon tonight. We are November Man. We are indeed. Am I a glober? I don't think I am. I believe in the firmament. And the sea's got to be land. The sea's got to be landlocked. And ice wall locked, doesn't it? You know, why is the rainbow like the shape it is? Because obviously it's reflecting off the firmament, isn't it? Why none of the ancient stuff, even the Bible, don't mention no globe, does it? The Egyptians and all that lot, they don't talk about no globe. Logic says it does. Are you a glober, Oleg? Well, another thing, right? You've had all these rockets that are supposed to have gone up in space, right? They go into outer orbit, or whatever you want to call it, the anti-gravity zone before the firmament, right? Freedom. But why is every single picture of the globe AI'd? Surely, I mean, they took Nikon cameras up years ago, and I think they took a Hasselblad up years ago. So where are the actual photographs? Why can't they give us an actual photograph instead of an AI? So I'm still torn. I've seen loads of experiments where they do over a certain distance from land across the sea with lasers and what have you over the distance that it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's hot dog. Yeah. Is Dave still here? Is he going live? I need to pee. 2 seconds. The fighter pilot can stand 9 Gs. Linear acceleration from 0 to 150 in 3 seconds. Approximately 10 astronauts have to be able to withstand over 50 G. That's not possible. Well, also the fuel. They've done loads about the fuel, haven't they? How big a rocket it would have to actually be to actually carry the amount of fuel that they need. Right? How come I can't ring my next door neighbour because I live in a granite building, but a president could ring the fucking moon? You having a bubble or what? No, I don't. There's loads of, you know. So 338 Le Pure Magnum, yeah, 1500 meters to 2000 meters. We learn wind, you learn heat off the ground. So you learn windage, you learn heat off the ground, you learn your grain, your load. And adjust your height for it. I didn't do no curvature of air in it, or curvature of the curvature of the land. I can go to sea. I can go 100 miles off land. With the naked eye, the horizon in front of me for as far as infinity, as far as my eyes can see, is a straight line. But as soon as I pick a camera up and a lens and set the lens to infinity, you've got a curvature because you've got a curvature in the lens. Well, Santa, that's another dark entity, isn't it? That's another dark entity, that is. Santa and Easter. Halloween. Yeah, 66.6. Well, airplanes, once they get to a certain height, they fly level. So if they fly in at 35,000 feet, they're flying at 35,000 feet. Why don't they adjust? They only come back down for landing and go up for takeoff, don't they? And there was a craze, wasn't there? Loads of people taking spirit levels on fucking airplanes. Yeah, exactly, Landy. Nothing can work in a vacuum. And everything, if everything's supposed to be anti-gravity, how did the flag that was supposed to be on the moon, which was fucking really in Canada or in a studio? There was documentaries, wasn't there, of the studio being built. Stanley Kubrick. There's loads of documentaries out there. Cut, do it again. Cut, do it again. And then when you look at all the photographs of when they were supposed to have landed on the moon in their fucking tinfoil shuttle, gold and silver tinfoil, the footprints don't even match what's on the fucking bottom of the spacesuit. Hello, Beth. Oh, Beth's doing stars as well now. Oh my God. Dave, Sam, everybody was all in there doing them earlier on. Teresa, they was all doing them. I ain't got a clue what they mean. See, the sparkles and all that lot don't come up in the chat, do they? But if I go like that, Boing. We're there then. I would question the moon landing, but man, come on. Look at that, there's a chili that. How's your auntie, Beth? I was only doing an hour. I was hoping Dave was going to go live. Online fruit machine. Why in the chat? The chat isn't keeping up. So no, people keep on sending all these chilies and jewels and coins and disco balls. Oh, so sorry to hear that, Beth. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, terrible, Beth. Sorry. Yeah, I can't show that, can I? It won't let me show that. Yeah, take it easy, Beth. What's November Man shared? You want me to play that, November Man? Where's Jimmy? Is he on tour, is he? That was 3 hours ago. America will run out of ammunition. Might be on tonight, actually, in 20 minutes. What might be on tonight? What's going on here? I can't. Oh, what's behind it?
is complete surrender by the Iranians. I hate to say it, but complete annihilation.
Well, my name's Garland Nixon. I'm standing in for the great Jimmy Dore here on the Jimmy Dore Show, and I'm here
Mexican.
Yes, I'm with this Mexican guy with the weird hat on. That doesn't look like a Mexican hat. Shouldn't you have on a cowboy hat? But I'm here.
I watched the border.
Ah, there you go. And I'm here with Kurt.
I blend in.
Of course. In our next segment, you know, I'm not going to say people want to sacrifice our kids to the god of war, but how about we start with who else? Ben Shapiro. Time for total war in Iran. Mass casualties. Okay, Carlson. Shapiro won't join the fight.
Wait, they're quoting him saying mass casualties are okay.
Well, Israel First podcaster Ben Shapiro is urging President Trump to wage total war on Iran, which would necessarily require ground troops and would likely end with thousands of Americans wounded or dead.
That didn't end well for them last time, did it? Last time they went on the ground, that didn't end well for them at all. Didn't end well at all. Yeah, I wonder if he gets his pipe out.
The neoconservative commentator's latest call for a war in which he will not be a combatant comes about a year after he said opponents who worry about ground troops in the war are lying. Now he says we Americans are willing to sustain mass casualties.
Wait, who's lying? I understand they're lying that they're worried.
They were lying.
People aren't worried about casualties.
Right. No, he said that people were lying, saying that there's going to be lots of casualties and et cetera.
We haven't won a war in 80 years.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we haven't won. The military-industrial complex and the banks never lose a war.
Well, the part where he's selling this, Ben Shapiro, this fucking scumbag. I had a friend of mine who's a close friend, tell me that she's like she used to be leftist, now she's a Christian. A total lateral move, by the way. Didn't address what the problem was at all, which is being a cow. Which I think he looks like a righteous man because she's in some. I don't have no idea. This piece of shit just said. We're okay with mass casualties of Americans. Are we, Ben? Are we?
Well,
now let's see.
Put your boots on, Ben Shapiro.
There's always a struggle. Let's see what Sid Rosenberg has to say.
Which is go in there with this massive all-out attack. There's no other way to stop this. There's no other way to win this war. So, again, he's trying to do the best he can. He's a very nice man. I love President Trump. He doesn't want people to die. He really doesn't. Okay, he's a nice man. But there's no other way to end this. Once you start this, Midnight Hammer was great. Epic Fury was great. Once you start this, there needs to be a finish. And the only finish is complete surrender by the Iranians. I hate to say it, but complete annihilation.
What did Midnight Hammer bring them? What did Epic Fury bring them? It didn't bring them anything. They brought them destruction of Israel, destruction of all the military bases around the other countries. What did it bring them? Iran hasn't run out of missiles. What's it bringing them? I don't get what it's bringing them. It ain't bringing them nothing, is it? No. Epic Fury. Yeah, we got rid of all the nuclear. Oh, fuck, they're gone. They've got nuclear now. Oh, they've got nuclear again now. But I thought he destroyed all them. We won the war again the 30th time. Yeah, exactly, Max. Exactly. Trump wins every war, doesn't he? Do you want the link?
Well, we talked last time about this. And by the way, I agree. I love President Trump. I love his heart, I think, is really for peace. And he's always, I love that even now, this past week, he's still talking about peace and wanting to find and leaving that door open for negotiations. You say the only end is annihilation. Now, what if winning this war requires boots on the ground? I asked you that last time. That's not very popular with the American people. What is your response to that?
It's not popular with me either. Look, I'm not a parent of an Army person, a Marine person, so I'm very sensitive to that, trust me. But look, we have the Army, we have the Marines for a reason. They're not there to shake your hand at the airport, Rachel, okay? They're there for a reason. Last I checked, we don't have a draft in this country. So these courageous men and women know exactly what they're signing up for. This is war. We don't want to see anybody die, but this is war. A war that started 47 years ago that they started. So, yes, I know the moral ground is to say, I don't want our kids to die. I feel the same way. But we got to win. Now, we can win maybe without putting boots on the ground. Maybe we can. I don't know. I'm not Jack Keane. I don't have that type of information. If we can do that, great. But if at some point it requires putting some boots on the ground to win this war, that's why they signed up. To fight for this country, to fight for President Trump, and to rid the world of evil animals like the Iranian regime.
But they didn't have any war, did they? They didn't have a war. Israel wanted the war because Iran was defending Palestine. So Netanyahu goes, you better toe the line. You better toe the line, Trump. You better toe the line. All your Jewish donors are going to stop donating if you don't toe the line. Oh, he went live. I'll have a quick chat with Max. I think the link went in. Did the link go in the chat? Because we had to change it last time. Okay. Two seconds, just pouring my coffee. Just pouring my coffee. All right, where are you to? Yeah. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, not so bad. Yourself?
Good. I got an echo for some.
Ah, it's because I'm playing this video. Hang on a minute. Oh, you got a black screen. Max? Max? It wasn't your echo, it was my echo because I was sharing the video. Ooh. All right. Hello. I'm going to remove that one. I got two of you up there. Right, I got rid of that one.
Yeah. One of them is a clone. You have to figure out which.
I got rid of the other one, the first one. But the echo was because I was sharing a video.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why it's echoing when I share a video. He used to do it on StreamYards as well.
Yeah, every once in a while they change the programs, upgrade them. Supposedly, that's what they call it.
God, you're beating that grinder up.
Yeah, I gotta putting paprika on the fish there.
Ah, it's paprika. Yeah. It was a wrong time for you, but did you see that documentary I played earlier?
I didn't catch it.
Nah, right. Well, I'll leave it up anyway. YouTube allowed me to play it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Rumble wouldn't let me play it.
No.
I don't understand why, because I was trying to stream to 2 places and it kept coming up something about the title. So I don't know whether it's my title. But
What was the video
Rumble,
just the regular Zionist stuff? Or?
Yeah. Well, it was all history, proper history that's not taught.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a Russian, Olav. Oh, what's he called? Olav. He narrated it all. A Russian director.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his surname is now.
But yeah, there's no end game to this other than the total pretty much. They got to turn the place into a parking lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, America don't care because at the end of the day, it's not America being bombed; is the other countries are being bombed. Yeah, okay, so there's American military assets there, but
they know they can't protect them all, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think Iran needs to turn back on Israel again because there's only been bombing Kuwait, Dubai, etc., Saudi, etc. But then again, they said that some of the missiles actually came from American ships into Saudi to try and bring Saudi into the war to back America up. Hello? Hello? Have I lost Max? I think we lost Max. I don't know if he's near us. Just bear with. Oh. Turn that off. Right, Max, I don't know if you can hear me, but I just put a link in the chat. Yeah, Max has crashed. I just put a link in the chat. That's for Gypsy Dave 1. So I'm going to bob over there, end this, and bob over to there. Go and join everybody else who's jumped over there. Right, people. Catch you on the flip side.